Fuerteventura is a paradise for surfer. That's why it gets called the Hawaii of Europe. One thing that you can definitely not fail to miss when you're on the island are the numerous surf shops and surf schools scattered all around the island. Not only that, but pretty much everyone has either a surfboard inside their truck or hooked on the rooftop of their car. Many are the beaches perfect for every level, and not to mention the perfect weather condition that makes this sport pretty much possible all year round. This was actually my second time in Fuerteventura, and now one thing that you definitely cannot miss when you visit the island is to take at least one session of surf and try for yourself the journey of this amazing sport. And do not worry if you never take or pick up a board in all your life, because they're pretty much a school for every level. Going from surf camp if you want to enjoy it with other people that like the sport and the lifestyles and you pretty much want to eat, sleep and surf all day, or if you want to opt for a school, there are either group lessons or individual lessons for your level and your level of expertise. And 3 days by no means are definitely not enough for this sport. People take usually months and years where they practice every single day to improve, so I'm not going there. I think that the first time that I ever heard or watched anything related to surf was from the 90s movie Point Break with Keanu Reeves. I think that was my first ever approach with surf, and from there I pretty much became fascinated by the sport, minus the questionable lifestyles and the problem with the loss. But anyway, skipping many years forward, I decided to know more about the sport, the theory behind it, and I read and watched as many videos and as many materials as possible to get a better knowledge of the theory and everything that was behind it. Living in a place and growing up in a place where surf wasn't really a thing. There are no surf sport, there is no one that practiced that sport. And a few years later, around 2020, I went on a trip in Portugal, and that was my first ever real approach with surf. I decided to give it a try and see for myself if I had what it takes to pick up a board. Now, I decided to do only one single session, and I must say that my first ever approach with a board and the ocean was more just on one side, and with zero experience whatsoever except from some theory knowledge about it. I just found myself in the middle of an angry ocean trying to ride waves that were really beyond my reach. And that's when I understood better the real need to rely on real professionals of the sector and not just on anyone, because it can get pretty dangerous otherwise. And this is not an easy sport, so it's better always to trust with someone that has a lot of experience and know what they do. So just not anyone, just not like surfers whatsoever, but it's better always to trust with a real certified instructor. In short, my first ever session of surfing was quite traumatizing and discouraging. I just kept falling all over and all over and all over again. I kept being swept away by the ocean, and it was just a big no for me. But I didn't want to stop there. I knew that I could do more. I had the fire inside me, and I was just eager to a rematch. And a couple of years later, I found myself on a second trip in Fuerteventura, and this time I decided to get in contact with Love Waves Surfing Lajares in Fuerteventura with Charlie Brown. I decided to book 3 sessions with them, each of 2 to 3 hours spent inside the water, and I can say it was the best decision ever. I would recommend them, and would recommend Charlie Brown as well, and La Wave Surf pretty much to everyone who wants to experience surf for the first time, who already practice the sport and just want maybe to improve. And together we started from the very bottom, from the basic of surfing, from the basic of the surfboard, and first and foremost how to catch white waves first, and then improving in trying to catch green waves. So being comfortable in the white waves before moving forward. I must say that my first experience with La Wave and with Charlie was great. He is quite technical in his approach with surfing, and he really makes sure that he's with you inside the water. He pays attention pretty much to everyone, doesn't matter if you're in a group, and pay attention that each and everyone inside the group try and catch as many waves as possible, and most importantly with the correct form. And I also noticed that just when you kind of stop thinking about every single aspect of where you have to position your foot, I mean where you have to position your foot, paddling, pop up, all that, I mean you already know how that works, but when you kind of stop thinking at every single aspect, it's just like something clicks in your mind, like you have like a kind of shift of your mindset, and that's when I noticed that you just enjoy the moment and you just be able to catch much more wave. Surfing is definitely not an easy sport, and if you do it in the correct way, it gets pretty fun. Tuning, paddling, it's a continual paddling, stand up, pop up, keep falling over, being swept by the ocean, being hit by the ocean wave on one hand, but on the other one you have that adrenaline when you're finally able to stand up, pop up on your surfboard and ride your first wave, and many others more, and when you just slide with your board on the surface of the ocean, and on the other hand you have like the tranquility and the calmness when you sit on your board and maybe you wait for the perfect next wave to catch. Pretty much just you, your surfboard and the ocean, and like all the chaos and the noise that is outside. I mean, you don't have room to think about anything else except that exact moment. You can't really afford to think about anything else, to be honest, and that's I think the thing that I love the most about this sport.
We don't paddle wherever I want. I paddle wherever I see good. It's different. Okay? We need to paddle, learning the perfect timing to getting up on the white wave in flat, learning to read the white wave, not the green wave, the white wave, learning to read which one is good and which one is bad.
How was my first day learning how to surf? Well, the first day I really enjoyed, but wasn't really the best experience. Not for them, not for the school, but for me, because I've been sick for a week and I'm recovering just right now. So I didn't really have that much strength. I actually lost a lot of strength in my body. Didn't have the time to recover completely, to recover all my strength and all my stamina. So I really had to really grab to even the little inch of strength that was left in my body. I really pushed my body and my limits really above and beyond. So I really pushed myself like I didn't do in so many years, which was great on one end, but on the other end, when you don't feel the best, when you don't feel like your body supports you are the best, of course, you can't enjoy the experience 100%. But nevertheless, like I said before, I enjoyed it, and let's see how it goes in the next days. For now, I'm really grateful that I don't have to jump on board today as well, because my body is hammered. It's really, every inch of my body hurts. It feels like I've been punched I don't know how many times. But anyway, it feels good, feels rewarding in a way. I used to be an athlete years ago, so I miss like that sense of pushing yourself, pushing your body. Feel tired, but like feel tired and feel itching all over your body, but in a good way, if that makes sense. So today is my second day. It's my second day surfing, and how was it? Well, it was really very enjoyable. I think it was even better than the first day. I was even able to catch at least a couple, I guess, of green wave, which unfortunately is not record, right? So yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed this, especially the fact that our instructor, Charlie, it stayed there in the water with you. It really guide you through like on what you need to improve. So I really hope to get the most out of it, and especially I really hope that my body will be able to handle it. And especially thing that I hate the most, I think it's when the strength of the ocean wave, it hits you in the ribs, and when it keep hitting you, it gets really annoying and it hurts a lot. So yeah, I really hope that tomorrow my body will be able to get up and handle the new day, and hopefully getting stronger, getting better. Just came back from my last surf session, and first of all, sorry for the wind. you could probably hear it. It's very loud. It's not giving us peace. To be honest, since I landed, it's been windy non-stop. But I mean, it's understandable as well. Here it's supposed to be winter, even though there is Ontario winter. But anyway, it's fine. It's definitely better than Italy at the moment where it's really cold. But anyway, yeah. So today is my last surfing session, and how was it? I think that I feel a little bit some opposite feelings about it, opposite emotions. First of all, I feel on one hand a little bit frustrated because yesterday, which was my second day, was a lot more better. I was able to catch much more waves rather than today. But I mean, it's also understandable because after 3 sessions, I think that my body, after 3 sessions, a broken toe and trying to get back on track after a week where I was ill and I was feeling sick, I think it's also quite normal. And I mean, as in every sport, and especially in surf, every day is different. Some days you win, some days you lose, so it's fine. I'm still happy with myself. I'm still happy that I was able to overcome not only my traumatic first ever experience that I had in Portugal over a year ago, but also, you know, to push my limits, to push beyond that. And I feel like I've learned a lot. I've learned what I'm supposed to work on, where I'm supposed to be better, what shouldn't I do. And that's honestly all thanks to my coach. So yeah, like I said, I feel a little bit frustrated because I mean my mind wanted to do more, but my body wasn't really responding. But it was like, yeah, I don't really think so. So yeah, that's a little bit frustrating, and I mean it's fine as well because I mean I came from a sport background myself. So I know what it feels. I know that you shouldn't be that hard on yourself because this day happens, and it also felt like an incentive somehow to improve, to not stop here, I feel more confident with myself and with my skills. I still know that there's so much to improve. I mean, I've already done how much? 3 days of surfing in all my life, 3 sessions of surfing in all my life, and I mean, people usually takes months or years to master the sport every single day. So yeah, it's really an incentive to get better at it. And I do love this sport. I must say that it's not the most calm or easygoing one that I could have chosen. But still, nonetheless, I do love it a lot. I do enjoy it. I do enjoy the feeling of it, which is kind of a mixed feelings as well. On one hand, you have the tranquility and the calmness, and on the other hand, you have the adrenaline of the speed when the wave catches, and on the other way, you also have that confusion where you get wet down, you fall, you get punched all over the places by the ocean waves. So you have you have a mix pretty much of all of it. Now, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like and click the subscribe button. It takes and requires no efforts from you, but it definitely means a lot for me and for my channel. And not only that, but in the next months I'm planning to create so much more content, and quite interesting one as well. I'm planning also a very interesting trip, so if you're curious and want to know more, don't forget to do that. And thank you so much for watching, and I just wanted pretty much to share with people who may be interested in this or just curious about it, my experience and my personal experience with it, and how I felt. So again, thank you so much for watching.